everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sathya. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video I will be sharing the best concealers for oily and acne prone skin. So these are the concealers which I have been using for almost a year now. I think I really like all this concealer. I have been using this concealer for a longer time and I really like this concealer, guys. So this is I feel a best and most used concealers as well for my oily and acne prone skin. So if you wanna see what are those concealer I'm gonna recommend to you and my favorite, so yeah, do continue watching, and if you are new to my channel, please take a moment to subscribe. Now without any further delay, let's get started. Before starting this video, I wanna share the lip shade I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Acne Forever Matte Liquid Lip Color in the shade Mauve Putty. Such an amazing lip shade, so I thought you might be interested, so I shared. So the review for this Acne is already up on my channel. If you want, you can check that out. I'm gonna leave the link of this video in the description box. Oh, now coming to the concealers. The first concealer I have is the Repack Concealer in the shade Classic Beige and Twisted Toffee. So you might have guessed which concealer I'll be talking. Yes, this is something a most used and loved concealer of mine. You might have seen in my Insta videos or my YouTube videos, I always use this concealer. Such an amazing concealer. I really like this concealer. I have done a full review on this concealer, like in-depth swatches, everything, which I'm going to leave link so that you can watch the in-depth. But for now I'm gonna share a little bit because why I like. So this concealer comes in 23 different shades. So just imagine in foundation also, in concealer also, brands don't launch a lot of shades. I don't include a lot of shades for my Indian skin tone, but Pack does not do that. So whatever they launch, they include all the shades for Indian skin tone. That is a plus point. I really like that. So this concealer comes in this kind of a tube form. So this comes in doe foot applicator. So it's a very tiny and minimal applicator. You don't get a lot of products. That is a very good thing, because people tend to use a lot of product and it may end up looking cakey. So this product gets a minimum amount, so how much ever you want you can apply. But I tell you guys, you just need one dip of the concealer is enough to cover your entire face. So I use the Twisted Toffee and Classic Beige because Twisted Toffee is my skin tone shade which actually covers my hyperpigmentation. So I use this concealer on my mouth and also to cover my dark circles. After that I use the shade Classic Beige to highlight my face. So in that way I don't end up looking very pale or anything. And also this doesn't settle on your fine lines once you set your concealer with the powder, and stays up to more than 8 hours, guys, without greasing or oiling. So it doesn't remove easily when you do any kind of eating meal, and if you talk much, it just creates a little bit of crack. But if you can just avoid with the loose powder. So must try concealer, and I really like this, guys. So the next concealer I have is from Wet n Wild. I'm in the shade medium deep tan and also medium tawny. Recently I have started using this, guys, and I fell in love with this concealer. This is also a really good concealer for oily and acne prone skin. After using this concealer, I did not see any kind of pimple problem or acne problem, anything. I did not see any kind of greasiness as well. So I really like this concealer because of the coverage and the lightweightness. So consistency is really nice. It's really medium thick, so it's not thick or not too thin. It comes with this kind of a doe foot applicator. So even this has a really good coverage. I really like this concealer, guys. For oily skin girls, you must try this concealer. Particularly if you have any kind of hyperpigmentation problem, you can just use the shade medium deep to cover the hyperpigmentation, and you can highlight with the shade medium tawny. So the price point is also really interesting. It priced at ₹399. It's a budget friendly. I have been using this concealer for almost 10 to 15 times for my makeup. I have used more than 15 times. I really like this concealer. So yeah, a must use concealer, guys. So the next concealer I have is the PAC Spotlight Concealer. Even this I have two shades. One is shade number 14 and shade number 12. So in this concealer you get 14 different shades from light to medium to dark. So whatever your skin tone, you definitely can find the shade for your skin tone. So now coming to the texture, this is a full coverage concealer and blends beautifully into the skin and doesn't crease at all. So it's little bit thicker in consistency when compared to the takeover concealer. So and it has a very big doe foot applicator, as you can see. So just one dip you can cover all your face and you can create a flawless finish. So I use the shade 14 to cover my blemishes, and to highlight my face I use the shade 12. So both the things works beautifully and combines really nice and sits beautifully on the skin. So if you're a dry skin also, you can try this concealer because it has a little bit of hydrating effect. So if you don't feel any kind of dryness or anything, and you don't feel heaviness at all. So because it's a little bit thicker, you might not like this concealer because of the thickness, but you need to take very tiny amount, guys. So just don't take a lot of product to cover your scars. This concealer just covers your scars like anything. Before they launched the takeover concealer, I was using the Spotlight concealer non-stop. So once they launched the takeover, I forgot to use at all because I was addicted to the takeover. But really a nice concealer, you must try for any occasions that you want to have a very long lasting concealer, then you can definitely go with this one. So the next concealer I have is from Maybelline. This is their new instant age driven concealer. I am in the shade Caramel and Honey. This comes in 14 different shades, starting from fair, medium, deep. So you don't get a deep dark shades, you get only deeper shades till caramel, I feel. So the shade Caramel is a perfect match for my skin tone, and to highlight my face I use the shade Honey. This is a pink undertone. So when I bought the shade, I did not see the undertone. This is a pink undertone. So if you want to try this, you can go with a medium, which is a warmer undertone. That would be a perfect match for Caramel. So if you have any pigmentation problem, you can go with the shade Caramel to cover, and to highlight you can go with the medium shade. But the formula is really good, guys. It's a creamy thick formula. You don't feel any heaviness at all. It's a very lightweight and covers your scars, blemishes beautifully, and I did not see any kind of pimple problem or any kind of blemishes, and I did not see any kind of creasing or any kind of heaviness at all. So I really like the concealer because of that formula. So only thing you need to keep in your mind is shade. So they have differentiated in with pink undertone and golden undertone. If you are a warmer skin tone, girls, please go with the warmer like golden undertone. If you are a cooler tone girls, you can go with the pink undertone or neutral undertone. That would be a perfect shade. And for dry skin also, you can definitely try, because I don't see any kind of dryness on my under eyes. On my under eyes I don't have any kind of oiliness, so I don't see any kind of dryness. So yeah, a must try concealer, I feel. So the next concealer in my list is Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. As the name suggests, it's a full coverage concealer, a nice concealer for oily skin, girls, because it's a matte finish, full coverage, long lasting, and doesn't settle on your fine lines. So you're a must concealer. So this concealer comes in 21 different shades, but you don't get that perfect undertone. I don't know why they did not launch in India, but in their original website they have almost 60 different shades. Like they have red, olive, pink, neutral, golden, warm golden. They have a lot of different shades. In India we don't get, but I bought this concealer from their own website. You can get it from Nykaa also, but you need to check the shades correctly, because when I bought the shade, I bought the shade C12 and C10, and almost when they started launching, so at that time they first launched the shade neutrals and pinks. So some of the warmer shades I did not see the perfect undertone. I bought the shade 12, but it was really matching at that time, guys. Now I prefer warm undertone. So initially I used to prefer neutral undertone. Now I prefer warmer. That's why I did not use, but this is a really a good superb concealer to try on. So if you are a cooler undertone, this would be a nice superb concealer to try on. If you are a warm undertone girls, you need to go with the shade 12.5, 10.5, then that would be a perfect match for you. So this concealer comes in this kind of a bottle, and you get a big doe foot applicator. So you just have to take one dip and you have to apply all your under eyes and around your mouth or wherever you need to cover your spots or anything. It just covers beautifully. So and did not settle on my fine lines. It's super lightweight, blends beautifully. You don't have to spend a lot of time in blending. It just blends with the beauty blender or any with the brush also. So initially when they launched, I was super addicted to this, and actually I finished the entire bottle. So yeah, a must concealer to try on, guys. You need to check only the undertone. Please go through the instruction on the shades, everything they have written in the website, and you can get your perfect shade. So the next concealer I have is from NYX. This is their Conceal Onestop Concealer. I am in the shade Caramel and Soft Beige. So when I bought the shade Soft Beige, which was very light, and I bought the shade Caramel when they launched in India. So this too is such an amazing concealer. If you are looking for any full coverage and long lasting concealer, then this is the one you need to try. So for oily skin girls, this would be a nice because it's very matte concealer, so you don't see any kind of shine peeking through from your face. And this is a really lightweight and very full coverage, so you need to take a very tiny amount to cover your spots, blemishes, or your under eye dark circles. Then you have to try this one, guys. I use the shade Caramel to cover my hyperpigmentation spots, and to highlight my face I use the shade Soft Beige. So when I use the shade Caramel, I use a shade Soft Beige, very tiny bit, like just pea size, so less than pea size. I use the shade Soft Beige. So this gives a super highlighting effect, so you don't have to take a lot of product. And this also comes with a good doe foot applicator. So this applicator I really like. It just hugs onto your under eyes, and you can see that really good flawless finish once you blend with the beauty blender or your brush. So I prefer a brush because to get that maximum intensity from the concealer, I use the brush. So with the beauty blender, it just strokes little bit of the product, so I use a brush. So I must try concealer, guys. This concealer comes only in 7 shades, so that is a little bit of disappointment for me. So if you can get your shade, then definitely you have to try this NYX Onestop Concealer. So the next concealer I have is from LA Girl. This is their Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. I don't have to talk a lot about this, guys. This is a world famous concealer. I have to say all the bloggers, makeup lovers use this concealer. This is a amazing concealer. So this covers your under eye, scars, everything, and it's very lightweight, full coverage, and you don't see any kind of blemishes peeking. So this concealer suits for every skin type. If you are a dry, normal, oily, this concealer matches you perfectly. Doesn't give settles on your fine lines at all, so blends beautifully, very lightweight. So this concealer comes in this kind of a brush form, and you just have to apply all over your face, then it creates a super beautiful finish. And this concealer comes in a lot of different shades. I think I don't know the exact number how many shades this one contains, but you can definitely find your shade, guys. I have in the shade medium beige and pure beige. So I initially was using the shade pure beige to highlight my face. So I use different concealers to cover my dark circles. To highlight, I use the shade pure beige. So this comes in variety of like orange undertone, green undertone, a variety of different shades to cover your pigmentation. So you might have seen online people using this concealer, guys. I must try concealer as well. So the last two concealer I have is a single shade. shades, like I don't have two shades to match my undertone, so I have bought single shade which I matched. So this is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. I am in the shade medium deep, and this is the Lakme Absolute White Intense Liquid Concealer. So I am in the shade golden medium. So both the concealers are really good when you mix together, but if you use individually, don't like, because the shade is not perfect nice. So in Lakme Absolute you get only 4 shades, which I actually did not like, but the formula is really good. It gives a super lightweight non-greasy effect when you apply on the deeper shade. So if you use this shade alone on deeper shade, it may look pale, so I use this to mix with this concealer. So this concealer I really like because of the coverage and the lightweightness. So it actually settles into your fine lines. But if you're okay to mix with any other shades that you have a pale lighter shades that you need to cover up, then you can definitely go with this one, guys. This one is also really nice, but only you get very minimal shades. So this also contains a big doe foot applicator. It just covers your scars, anything, and you need to powder your face completely because this formula has a little bit of greasiness. I feel like it actually settles in your fine lines if you don't set your face with a loose powder, so that you have to keep in your mind. So with this shade I use the shade Lakme Absolute. So both of them work beautifully on my skin tone. Yeah, it definitely try, but lack of shades that you have to keep in your mind, guys. So guys, that's pretty much for the concealers. These are the concealer I have been using for a longer time, and I really like to combine this concealer with the different shades, which gives a very flawless finish. So hope you like this video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, comment below what is your opinion, and let me know what is your favorite concealer in your vanity. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and all the videos links, shade names will be given in the description box, so please do check that out, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Bye, take care.